Hi, my name is Robert Welch, and I'm a mental monster, according to the United States government. See, I have a mental problem. I have post-traumatic stress disorder and agoraphobia. I'm afraid of people. When I get near people, my muscles tighten up. I can't breathe. I can't think. I just want to run and hide. Okay, I've controlled it for part of my life, but the older I get, I can't control it. I was never taught coping skills. I was never taught boundaries. I didn't have that because every time I reach out for help and I ask people for help, I say things, you know what, I've never wanted to be alive. Well, when you're stabbed by a serial killer at 8 years old, and those people follow you and they make you afraid, and when you reach out to the cops and ask them for help and they tell you there's nothing you can do until they hurt you, and and then they just keep kicking us when we're down. Take me for example. My wife and I, her gross income is about $1,200 a month, but she only gets half of that or less than half of that. Yet when we go to get food stamps and everything else, they cut us off at every help everywhere. We got half of the lead-up that we normally get. We got okay, so when we applied to get help, they took all my mental help away from me. They take all my medicines away from me. They take everything away from me and don't help me with them because they tell us we make too much money, yet we don't see the gross amount. We see a net amount. We only live on our net income, and it's not enough in society for society to live. But the government's idea of helping the mentally ill is to lock them into a prison. We don't want our rights taken away. We want to be helped totally. But here's the problem. The politicians in America don't help anybody. Okay? When you go to the food stamp office, you go to the food stamp office because you're hurting and you can't afford to buy food for your family. You apply for the food stamps and you get denied. And then something else in your life goes away because they decide at the same time that you make too much money and they take it away from you. There's a reason we go to the food stamp office. Maybe we're being garnished, we can't afford food. Maybe, but you count it against us. You think it's our fault we're being garnished. Here's the problem. When you get garnished on a job, you create all these new bills in life that you can't pay because that money's going to somebody else. When you send that money to somebody else, it's not our money. We shouldn't have to pay for that money twice or three times like you're making us do. When I ask you for help and I don't know how to cope and I tell you, you know what, this is why I've never wanted to be alive, that is why. Because us poor people, when we get a shot and they say, well, we're going to help you, so they send you to a bankrupt program. When you get a hold of the lawyers stop cold because they're not getting all the money they want. Okay? America is screwed up. We do not help the people in America. Okay? They sent $800 million to Indonesia because of they have a typhoon and a mudslide over there. Well, they have them all the time over there. They don't help their own people. They don't. They pass these laws. They sit in office and they pass these laws that mean absolutely nothing to nobody in America because they hurt us. They don't help us. They just make us go that much further into hiding and hiding. I live in a prison. I have for 44 years. My house has been my prison. I haven't had a friend. I've had some people around me that will say, you know what, he was my friend. No, I wasn't your friend. You know, the people that scared me the most in life, I kept closer to me because I wanted to know what they were doing so they didn't hurt me. Okay, when I walk down the street, people point at me and say, oh, look at a metal monster. I'm not a metal monster. I'm afraid of you. Okay? America needs respect. There's only one person in America that I have ever seen in my entire life that gives respect to every person that he ever talks to, and he's my superhero. Okay? I've never seen him talk ill about anybody, only good. And if everybody in America watched Pharrell Williams on The Voice and how he talked to people and you accepted how his heart is and you started talking to people like he talks to people, my God, this American country, everybody would be equal. The women would have the dollar that women, you know what? If a woman's smarter than me, a woman should have that job at the same pay they're offering it to me. Okay? We need help in America. Stop hurting us. Stop putting the black people in projects and cruising around in your cop cars and acting like you're God. Build them Habitat for Humanity homes and give them a chance. Respect them as people. Gangs are started in America because you label them and you push them in. Look, you can sit there and tell me this is all wrong because you're a criminologist. I studied criminology, but I also went to the other side of the gangs to find out why they're like that. Well, you know why they're like that? Because society labeled them. Society tracks them down every time they see them because they got a tattoo on their body. They harass them. You know what? You can't do that to American people. Okay? The American people want to be heard. When I write my senators, I want my senators to come to my house and I want them to find out what I need, not what they think I need. I'll probably be arrested and the FBI will probably show up for this video, but I don't care. If you people would learn to be like Pharrell Williams, my superhero, this world would change. And if that's the only way it's going to change, when people start respecting everybody else. When the United States government decides that everybody's a citizen and everybody's vote counts instead of the delegates. Screw them delegates, man. We're people. We should have the right to say who we want for president. But you don't let us have that right, so we don't vote. We don't get off our asses and go vote. In fact, most people are so afraid of you. You know, the mental health clinic and the mental people that have been calling me because the government keeps sending cops to my house to find out if I'm going to hurt myself. No, I'm not hurting myself. The United States government's hurting me. They've been hurting me for 44 years instead of helping an 8-year-old boy who was stabbed by a serial killer. Instead of me seeing dead girls' bodies flash, little dead girls' bodies flash in my eyes as that's my flashback. How about the taste of blood in my throat every morning when I wake up because I was stabbed and covered with a sheet so that nobody could get pictures of me. So I thought I was dead at 8 years old. Well, I've been pretty much dead since I was 8 years old because when I reach out for help, I'm the monster. Please, people, stop hurting the monster. When you hurt the monster to the point that they can't be hurt anymore, they shoot schools up, they shoot businesses up, they kill innocent people. Help the mentally ill. Help everybody. I don't care if they're mentally ill or not. Stop messing with Social Security. Stop blaming people for everything. Put the world back together. Crime doesn't pay in America, folks. We had a teacher rape a student. She killed herself. 30 days he got in jail. Now we had another one who's attempted suicide twice because of some teacher, and they gave him 5 years in jail. Give me a break, America. Fix it. Thank you.